Welcome to another episode of the Not Done Yet Movement podcast with my beautiful sister friend Roya. And we are still in the Becoming You theme and month. And I'm super excited because you were spotlighted on our website. And knowing your story and learning more about you and the whole development, the journey to where you are today is something that I think many of us not only would love to hear, but can relate to and can actually learn from.
Great. I'm happy to share my story if it is inspiration to other people.
Well, you're an inspiration to me.
Thank
and
you.
She also co-parents
Yes.
my falafel, which is now our falafel and more of her falafel. We're kind of like divorced parents, and she's the fun one and I'm the other one.
Yeah.
So thank God for her coming into my life, because I think falafel would have been out the window by now. Who said do a puppy?
Yeah, I don't know. That's one of the things I have to tell you. Everybody says, why do you get a puppy when they take a year to actually, and I'm like, well, we're hitting the year mark.
Oh my gosh, I am ready for the year. But this is about you. This is about Roya and becoming you. So I want to go back, and some of the things that you talked about in the spotlight that we talked about you it was a surprise for me. I learned a lot more about you, but I want them to learn about you. Yeah.
Okay, so tell me, what do you want to know?
Okay, so again, I'm so professional that I have my cards and my questions.
Okay, great.
Look at me.
I haven't read anything. I don't know. It's all a surprise.
That's the way it's supposed to be.
Okay.
Oprah, here I come. As you enter this next chapter of life, what excites you most and what scares you the most?
Well, so I've been in Dubai for 26 years. I came here in 2000. Well, 2000 was my first year here that I was coming back and forth, and I permanently moved here in 2001. And back then, it was a challenge. I came here with $5,000 in my pocket.
Wow.
Barely enough money to pay my rent, because you have to pay your rent 1 year up front. So I took somebody's apartment, and like they were moving out. It was a couple that was getting separated, and so they said, you want to take the apartment with everything. So I took this apartment fully furnished with everything.
Nice.
And I was able to pay the monthly payments because I had like nothing. And I started a job at The One, which is a furniture store, and I was hired to be their interior designer in Jumeirah, which coincidentally is right next to where I live now.
Okay.
And it is like literally I have like stepped like 50 meters away from where my first job was. 26 years ago.
Wow.
I am living next door. So I came out here, which was a huge challenge. I succeeded. I had a great success.
But wait, where were you coming from?
It's a funny story. I was coming from California via Iran.
Okay.
And that was a whole another challenge. I spent a year in Iran. In Tehran. My father had liver disease, and we were looking for a family donor to give him a liver transplant. So I ventured into Iran. I had an amazing experience. For 1 year, I was trying to find a match, bring them to Dubai, see if we could get a visa for them to come to the United States so they could do the transplant. At the end, I ended up staying in Dubai.
Did you just fall in love with Dubai back in 26 years ago?
Well, no. Well, one of the things, I'm from California. I'm typical American. I love Starbucks, and there was a Starbucks, and there was a blue beach, like a turquoise blue beach,
really,
with sand. And I was like, okay, this is my kind of living. There's a Starbucks and a beach. I could be here. And a long story short, I ended up going to jail one night in Iran. I was at a barbecue, and men and women can't socialize in Iran. So they raided the house. They took me in. I had a dog back then, a Yorkshire Terrier, that I traveled everywhere with. The dog went to jail. I went to jail.
The dog went to jail?
Yeah, we spent the night in jail. And the next day they were like, okay, we're going to whip you 60 times. I was going to get 60 lashes. And I was like, I'm not signing up for this. My father ended up paying off the lashes and was like, get out. Just get out of this place. It's not for you. I'll buy you a ticket wherever you want to go. And I was like, I'm going to Dubai.
Wow.
And I came out here, worked hard, did a lot, and I don't know. I ended up here. Now I'm on my next journey.
You're on your next. Oh, I'm excited to hear about your next journey.
So after 26 years of being out here, I'm on my next journey, and it's like not done yet.
It's not done yet. Oh, she threw that in there. You like how she threw that in there? So what was the hardest part of starting over that nobody usually talks about?
Well, it was very easy to start here because I was young. I was in my 30s, early 30s. I was 31 years old. So I was like, wow, I was like a kid in a candy shop here. And so I had very easy. There wasn't a lot of women here except for maybe the women who worked in the evenings and the Emirates Airlines flight attendants. So there wasn't a lot of like normal, typical hardworking women. So I managed to succeed, and I crossed that bridge between being of Middle Eastern descent, being of Muslim descent, and being of Western culture. So I was welcomed into the society here, and I happened to be very successful. And at some point, I think age got to me, and as an interior designer, I found it a little bit more difficult to continue with my path as an interior designer. So I took a pause and I took a break, and I questioned what I wanted to do next, which I wanted to be independent. I wanted to be able to do things on my own and work for myself.
What age were you when you made this decision?
That was just a year ago. So I was 57.
Wow.
And at 57, I said, right, I've probably exceeded my time, and now I need to find something that can stabilize me and bring me into the next journey in my life. And it wasn't running around doing projects in the 50-degree heat and working with cultures that was difficult. I said I need to take it easy. So I said I'm going to start an online business and doing home accessories. It's been quite a bit of a challenge, I must say. And the first year was learning curve, selling product. I'm not quite used to that. And I started my website. I started doing product online. But I was also coming to terms with me because I'd always identified myself as having a job.
Right.
And working for somebody and doing my next project. Right. And suddenly I had no next project.
Yeah.
And I was a little lost. And I was like, I had to ask myself, why did I run around doing all these projects and not take care of my own stuff? And what I say about my own stuff is I actually have properties of my own.
Okay.
And as I made money in Dubai, I invested in projects, and I invested in properties in the United States and Florida. So I had these properties.
And Marbella.
Yeah, I had in Spain.
She loves Marbella.
So I had these properties, and all of them were falling apart. None of them were taken care of, and they were neglected. And last year I realized that not taking care of them myself, I had ended up having a wealth of property, but they were worth nothing.
Yeah.
So I made a decision. I'm going to invest in my own self and invest in my property. And so each 6 months, I've been doing a renovation. I have taken on a project. Rather than identifying myself with somebody else's project, I identify myself with my project.
Yes.
And I'm building my property portfolio.
Okay.
And that is something interesting for me.
I love that for you. And I love the fact that at 57, you decided that you were not done yet.
And also, I think I didn't realize my own self-worth, and I didn't realize my own value.
That is huge.
I had worked so hard all these years to get all this property, but I neglected it because I didn't feel it was good enough for me. My clients with these beautiful homes and beautiful projects and beautiful properties, they were worth my attention, but my own properties weren't worth my attention. Yeah. Like I undervalued my achievements.
And we do that all the time.
And I'm still doing it, and I'm still working through that process.
Oh, wow. That's wonderful. That's beautiful to watch you on this journey because that's a big deal.
It is a huge deal.
That's a big deal. And it's that fear and not knowing who we are, not valuing ourselves, not understanding our worth, not giving it to us, but always giving it to somebody else.
It's always giving it to someone else.
Always giving it to somebody else.
Like all my clients love me. I have relationships with all my
Yeah.
clients, but at the end they get amazing projects. Like I built the biggest nightclub in Dubai, and it was like #1 nightclub in Dubai for 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
And what did I get out of it? I got a small little salary that was for them beautiful
Right.
that I did this project.
Yeah.
They got all the residual income and all the profits and the benefits of it. And, you know, it was like a small little investment that I got. Yay, I did your project. But nothing was like deep seated for me.
Right.
And now I'm doing something that can take my life and say, I've got a property investment. And it's gonna take me into my 80s, my 90s,
Yeah.
being 100.
Yeah.
And I think when we say not done yet, I'm going to be 60 in a year, and I'm like, right, okay, I need to work on having my investment for myself that can take me into the next 40 years of my life.
So for me, as I get older, there becomes an urgency, right? It's like, okay, we both made this decision to walk away from what was secure.
Yes.
And now we've walked into something that we don't know.
It's unknown.
It's unknown. And every day it's like, okay, how are we going to feed ourselves? When we first
Yeah.
met, we were both like, we don't have jobs.
Yeah. Oh my God. I was like, I make $1,000 a month. How am I going to like pay my rent and live my life? I'm making $1,000 a month and my expenses are huge. I mean, falafel costs a fortune. But anyways, you know, like the bottom line is that you actually, when you search within yourself, whether it's something like you're doing with podcasting and doing this personal journey and this business that you're in, or whether I like look at myself and say, right, I have property that's worth something. Why am I just going to give it away at like fire price sales? Because I had offers to buy my properties, and I remember this last time I was in Miami, I was trying to sell a property, and I have a squatter in one of my properties. Like, yeah, I was and so I called the police to come in. It was a new experience for me. I called the police to get him in, and they were like so nice to me, and they were like, ma'am, this is your property. We've never seen you around here. I'm like, it is indeed. I'm like, it's been my property for 15 years. And he's like, well, you know, we can't kick the squatter out, but you have to go through the court process. But why are you going to sell this property? And these 6 police officers were so nice to be like, ma'am, don't you be selling this property. This has got value in it. And so I'm taking a risk, taking a loan out on the property, which I've not taken a loan out, taking a loan out to build it myself and build a duplex, so that I'm like, right, the amount that I take, which is a new adventure for me, taking a loan out and building it myself, I've actually got a valuable asset for myself. Why am I going to sell it off to some developer to do it?
Exactly. And oh my gosh, do I sell it? Do I not? I have more peace now than I think I've had in a very long time when I was working for others, even though I don't know what tomorrow holds.
Yeah, we don't.
You know,
I'm not afraid.
I'm not afraid either. I'm not
It's really weird. I'm not afraid of what's to come. It is like I'm willing to take the risk.
Yeah.
And I believe that the universe just helps us get through it.
Here we go.
You know,
I love that.
think that,
I love that.
And I think that your journey is opening up doors, letting yourself open up doors. Something will come along.
Yeah. Yep. I brought this up in one of my other podcasts, I believe. And when I was getting ready to leave the government, or when I decided that I want to leave the government, and I might be repeating this story, but I think it's important based off of something you said in your Spotlight interview. I was talking to my former work husband, and I said, all of the women that came into the Foreign Service as diplomats at the same time that I did, they left.
Yeah.
And he said, Valerie, the difference between them and you is a man. They have husbands.
Yes.
And I was a little bit hurt, taken aback. And he realized that as soon as he said it, he wanted to swallow it.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, no, you can do it. You can do it by yourself. And in your Spotlight, you talked about this. So you've talked about believing you needed a man to be happy. What does a healthy relationship look like to you now? And do you think that you still need that man?
Okay, it's really funny. I actually sent my friend Sharon, she's in New York right now, upstate New York. And I sent her this Instagram post that I saw about these elderly ladies that all decide to come together, and there are 18 of them, live in a community and have all their services to them. And so my future now is actually my friendships around me. And I think, you know what, if the right guy comes along in my life, which I'm still optimistic that he will.
Ask me if he has a brother.
Yeah, I will. So if the right guy comes along during my journey to retirement, I will be more than happy to welcome into my life. but I don't need that
Right.
man, because I believe that my friendships, and even you and me as friends, I mean, we've got that. We know we're there for each other.
Right.
We share a dog, but we know we're
Yeah.
there. Like if you pick up the phone and call me and say, I need this, I'll be there.
Yeah.
And the same thing with me.
Yeah.
And I think that if the plan B is first find that life mate partner that I can play paddle with, play tennis with, do yoga, Pilates, do all my stuff, because I'm a total exercise junkie. I love fitness and I love doing stuff with someone. But if that person doesn't come, have a sisterhood community,
Yes.
live in the same house together, have our housekeeper, have our everything together, have our cook, have our nannies, do whatever we want, share all the expenses, and live in my group with my friends that like to play golf, that like to play tennis, that like to do all these things.
And for once,
no, you can live there. You just don't need to sign up for the activities. That's it. We'll do like we'll have optional activities.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
We can do painting classes.
Thank you. I can do painting. I can crochet as well.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So I think that's beautiful. And it's funny because as I was getting older and I watched women that were older than me and they were doing this, they were taking trips together.
Yeah.
It's almost like they decided that a man wasn't necessary anymore.
Right.
Either the men weren't coming to them or they just decided it wasn't worth the trouble.
Let's face it. We need a man for sex. Some women don't, but we need a man for sex. Let's put it out there. It's great. It works. I put estrogen cream on my face. I take estrogen. I take hormones. I do it all. But at the same time, I feel so satisfied with the women around me, and I do love traveling with them. I do love the journey. And I think in the old days, in our parents' age, women needed a man to get through life. They needed the cliche of the man brings the bread home, and
the bacon, and
the
she
bacon,
fries it up
and
in
she
a pan.
fries it up in a pan. And do you remember the Cowgan?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about.
I can bring home the bacon and
fry it up in a pan, and never let you forget you're a man, 'cause I'm a woman.
Yeah, love that. But we still have the man in the picture. Now we can bring home the bacon, fry it up in a pan, and we're like, okay, well, for me, I take out my energy by doing sports, and I love cooking, and
she's such a good cook too. Oh my gosh,
wow.
We want some more of those air fryer spring rolls. Yeah, we got to do that again. So in this whole becoming you, in the 50s, deciding like, I'm tired of what I've been doing. I'm ready to do something else. What advice, because this community is for women in their later 30s, hitting 40, and I think I reached this a long time ago that I wanted to do something else, but I was fearful.
Right.
And I have more responsibilities.
Yes.
Like I don't have them now.
Yeah.
And so I didn't take that leap when I could have. But for those that are still holding on because they're fearful, what would you say to them?
Well, first of all, what's the worst thing that could happen? My dad used to tell me this all the time. My dad was an amazing inspiration to me, and he always used to he used to tell me, what's the worst thing that could happen? Yeah. You'll be a waitress or a hostess in a restaurant. You'll always find your way, and you'll get a job. What is the worst thing that could happen?
Yeah.
You always will have an income. You'll always be able to support yourself. Don't fear. First of all, the worst scenario isn't that bad.
Yeah.
It's getting a job. And I don't know, maybe Dubai is a little different, but the rest of the world, there's no ageism for you can see 70-year-olds working in America. You can see 70-year-olds working in Spain. We're not stifled by our age.
Yeah.
So I think that taking that step and saying, what is it I really want to do? And ask yourself, don't be realistic.
Yeah.
I would say be realistic. If you're like have been doing, like, for example, interior design all your life, and you say, I want to be a doctor. Come on. It ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. Maybe in the next life, but it ain't gonna happen this time. But what do you want to do? I'm an interior designer. What is it I have passion for? Do I want to try and make clothes? Do I want to try and do art? What is it that my passion is? And is it viable?
Yeah.
Is it it's
Can
great.
You feed yourself.
You use chat a lot, and I know you
love it.
Yeah, you chat with chat.
Have a wonderful
but also I ask, chat takes the compass of what's going on around
Yeah,
the world.
yeah,
Ask the chat inside you.
yeah.
Ask the chat inside you and really be honest with yourself. Write it down and say, what am I capable of doing? One of the things I realized with myself as I discover what am I going to do to earn an income.
Yeah.
So I'm building my property portfolio to earn income. Is it enough for me to fly business class? I do need to subsidize it. That's the truth.
And
I do need to
business class.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I
But
still.
you know what? That's what you're saying is important, because even though what your father said is true, what's the worst that can happen?
Yeah.
The idea of making that sacrifice keeps people in bad relationships, keeps people in jobs that they don't want.
Yeah.
Because the idea of
we can survive in economy.
I don't want to be
We
a
can
waitress.
survive.
I don't want to sit by the toilet in
Yeah,
economy.
but that's the worst.
You know what I
That's
mean?
the worst
I
thing that
know,
could happen.
but a lot of
it's not that bad. People still think that's a pleasure.
Still, a lot of people, women that I know, would rather stay in a bad marriage or stay at a job because they don't want to move.
Because you've got one life. You're not going to make up today. Today's not going to come back.
I feel the same way. I feel exactly
so
the same
I'd rather fly. And trust me, I was sitting in economy back by the toilet on my way back from Miami this last time.
The worst.
I was like, right. I mean, I was squeezed tight. Thank God I had an ILC, and it was a night flight overnight. I got to Madrid, and I was like, I'm dying. Just let me go to bed. Put the covers on my head. You know, and I was like, okay, right. If I eat beans and rice for the next month, you know, can I buy that business class ticket? Yeah, I can.
And that's the way I feel. And that's what this is all about, right? That's what this
it's
whole
doing what you want to do.
Yes.
And put in your mind what you want. Be realistic. Ask deep down inside yourself, what am I capable of doing?
Yeah.
What am I capable of
doing?
It. And saying, let's go out there and try. Yeah. And if the worst case scenario, you end up being a waitress, you end up walking dogs, you end up being, you know, an au pair or a nanny, you save up your money and you go on that one trip a year, then so be it. It is still a dream that many people have. Yeah. But I think that being okay with yourself, being content with your decision is really important, because we don't get to make up today.
Nope.
There's no makeup.
This is not a practice run. We're not going to get the opportunity to do it again. So do it to the best of your ability.
Absolutely. And for me, I think really the main advice, I know you're not an exercise person, but I go to a doctor. I go to a functional doctor. I go to, because I have back problems. I mean, I did a lot of running around and it's caught up to me. But one thing my doctor always tells me is fitness is not an option. Exercise is not, it's non-negotiable. He says it's non-negotiable.
Well, it's don't, so I don't want anybody, we're going to wrap this up, but I don't want anybody to think I don't exercise because I don't want to. I don't exercise because I have high cortisol levels.
Right.
So I went to a Zumba class like a month ago. I didn't sleep for a week.
Right.
Because I get too energized, and I can do it at 5 o'clock in the morning. I can do it at 4 o'clock in the morning. I still won't be able to sleep for days.
Right. And you're pretty fit. You are naturally fit. You have good bone structure. But as we thin, and I just want to tell you guys, for your brains or whatever, it's not fun for any of us, but I would say exercise is non-negotiable. Put that as part of your routine. And
I walk.
Which is also walking. It's also is walking.
But I have to walk slowly.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You're still walking, but movement, because our bodies are meant to move. And I think that is really key. And as you move your body and you keep your body flexible, keep your mind flexible.
Amen.
One of the things that I really find with elderlies is we get stuck in one mindset. We're not open to listening, because listening to the fear of unknown is scary. It's scary. Yeah. Knowing that you don't know is scary. Yeah. And I think being open to trying new things, being open to listening, and being open to taking advice from the younger generation, flexibility in your mind and in your body is the way forward to going on to your 60s. Yeah. I mean, next
whatever the next chapter.
Big party next year. I mean, I don't know where it's
going. I think start planning it now.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And as you know, Roya has a lot more to say. This is not going to be the last podcast with Roya, because we have so much more to dig into, because your life has been a huge journey. And I really think that people can learn from what you've done, what you're going through, and the way you think.
Well, also, I think I'm learning from you as well. Like, one of the things I'm like, wow, how do you do that social media stuff? It is so challenging for me. I go a few days and then I'm like, I can't. And there's got to be a fine balance between it.
Yeah. finding a young person to work with you. Anyway, so thank you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for wrapping up our month of becoming you, because
Thanks.
you are still becoming, and
We are. Every day is
you.
a becoming. And I think that's, don't think that you're never going to reach your goal until you're 6 feet under. You still can become you.
Yeah, always becoming you.
Yeah.
And thank you for joining us, because the plot twist is still unfolding at the Not Done Yet
Not done yet.